So I want to do an update on the CZ527 carbine in 7.62x39. I own quite a few rifles, and this one by far has to be my favorite. I've had it for exactly a year and almost 2 months. It's a great rifle, but it hasn't been without issues. So go over a few things that I've done to the rifle since I've had it. I installed quick release sling cups in the butt and in the fore end. I like to be able to carry the rifle on the side versus having the magazine stab you in the back, carried across your back. I bedded the action. I'm not going to take off the stock right now and show you. I bedded it with some DevCon epoxy, and also added this Weaver 1.5 to 6x32 scope. It's a Weaver Caspa. So with the scope mounted on the rifle, I can get groups of about 1.5 inches with the inexpensive Russian ammunition. And with Hornady SST, I've gotten groups as small as 1 inch. So it shoots pretty well. So this rifle is certainly a shooter. It shoots very well. I took it out to 300 yards a couple times this weekend. I know that 7.62x39 is not a 300 yard caliber, but just for the fun of it, to see what it'd do. The Russian ammunition, I had about a 10-inch group, and the drop was around 24 inches. And I tried the Hornady SST, and got about a 5-inch group at 300 yards, and the drop was closer to 30 inches on that. I was kind of surprised with that. So I guess the Hornady isn't loaded quite as hot as the surplus type ammo, but for a 300 yard 5-inch group, that's not too bad. Quite a bit of drop involved there. It was fun to do anyway, you know. So I got the scope attached with Warren quick attach rings. I really like having these rings on there because I can just take the scope off and shoot open sights, put the scope back on, and it holds 0. I've tried it several times and it goes right back on 0 every time. So I'm really pleased with the rings. That's all there is to it. I haven't decided if I like the rifle more with the scope or without the scope. I mean, it's just so handy, short, light. I probably have to say with the scope because my eyes just aren't good enough to shoot as well as I would like to without a scope. And then when you reinstall the scope, there's a recoil lug on this back dovetail, and there's a screw head right here that you have to align. Put it in place, push the scope forward, and then tighten the mounts back up, and you're ready to go. At least that's how it's supposed to be. But I ran into a problem with this particular rifle, and I'll show you that. When I first got these rings, I thought the rings were defective. I'm using a rag just because it's a lot easier on the thumb. They do have sharp corners on the end of these levers. So when I got these rings, I thought they were defective because the rear, I could tighten it up no problem. In the front, I just couldn't seem to get it tight enough. It's like the mount was always bottoming out. So with the Warren rings, you're only supposed to do finger tight, and they're good. But I guess I won't be able to show you, but I have movement. I've only tightened the front ring, but I still have movement. And I could not get that front ring. I I would have to tighten it really hard to get it tight enough to secure on the front dovetail. And I noticed that it would secure very easily on the rear dovetail. So that told me that the front dovetail is smaller, and actually I got a caliper and I measured it. The front dovetail is smaller than the rear dovetail. That's a issue with the rifle. I thought it was an issue with the Warren rings. I contacted Warren. They were going to send me out a new pair, and then I got to looking at things a little closer and discovered the issue was actually with the dovetail on the receivers and not with the rings. So that's another issue that's one of the issues that I've had with this rifle. So let me get the scope back off there and I'll tell you another issue that I've had with it. The bolt is picky. I guess I'm not gonna do it now since I don't have any ammunition in it. When you push the bolt in, you kind of gotta put pressure this way for it to work in and out, especially when you have it loaded. And that has caused a few hiccups for me. I guess I've gotten used to it, but anytime a new shooter to this rifle gets their hands on it, they have a problem with it. But like I said, I guess I'm just used to it. But I have had a few instances where I'm pushing the bolt, you know, putting pressure this way, and as I go up, my hand hits a safety. But the bolt don't close. So I've had a couple issues with that. It's rather annoying if you're trying to shoot quickly. So after about 250 rounds, the front sight came loose. I was rather disappointed with that. I've learned that it was held on with epoxy and a single screw. I've already got a video up on that. I'll put the link in the description if you want to go there and watch it. But for lack of a better fix, I re-epoxied it and reinstalled that single screw. So my latest issue with this rifle, this is after, I'm not sure the round count, 500 to 600 rounds I put through this rifle. I noticed this morning as I was cleaning it. Got a crack developing in the stock. I know that's a common problem with these rifles. I bedded the action in hopes that it would prevent that from happening, but apparently it still happened. I know CZ has a warranty. Their warranty is 1 year on wood components and 5 years on metal components of their guns. I haven't contacted CZ yet, but I think I'm gonna get an email together and see what they have to say. That's a bummer. I don't see it coming through to the bottom of the stock anywhere, but I guess over time it'll only get worse. I would hope it doesn't, but I'm afraid it will. Well, what do y'all think? Am I crazy after showing you all the issues with this rifle to still call it my favorite? So what is it about this rifle that makes it my favorite? It's short, lightweight. It's a very handy rifle, and it's accurate. It shoots really well. Another thing I didn't mention earlier was this set trigger. Let me show you this unloaded again before I go pull on the trigger. No bullets in it. The set trigger, you push the trigger forward, it's set, and it has a 3/4 pound pull weight. That makes it really nice when you are target shooting. You get some really good shots in like that. And also the cartridge that it shoots, the 7.62 by 39. You can get the surplus type ammunition. At Academy, right now you can get it for $25, 100 rounds, 25 cents a pop. Compared to most centerfire rifles, you're going to be paying closer to at least $1 a round. So you can shoot it often, practice with it. It's not going to break the bank. and it's a beautiful rifle with issues. So anyways, guys, I thought I'd give you an update on the CZ527. I appreciate y'all watching, and I'll see you next time.